It started as a spontaneous getaway. My girlfriend Brianna and I, along with our friends Marcus and his girlfriend Jen, decided to go camping one weekend in early fall. Brianna's uncle had told us about a hidden lake nestled deep within the Pine Hill Reserve, a spot not marked on most maps, but supposedly worth the hike. He gave us vague directions, warning us that GPS wouldn't help much out there, but he assured us the path was well worn and easy to follow. We got to the parking area around 5 p.m., the golden hour casting long shadows over the forest trail. The hike was about a mile through quiet woods, and as promised, it opened up to a stunning lake surrounded by thick pines. The water was like glass, and the whole place had this untouched, almost sacred feeling. We pitched our tents right near the shoreline and started gathering firewood while the sun sank below the trees, staining the sky orange and red. Jen was the first to suggest a swim. The air was still warm from the afternoon heat, and the water looked inviting. She and Brianna stripped down to their sports bras and shorts and waded into the lake, laughing. Marcus and I stayed back to build the fire. It took longer than expected. None of us were exactly outdoors experts. We fumbled with matches and twigs while the girls floated in the water. Then we heard Brianna scream. It wasn't playful or exaggerated. It was the kind of scream that tears out of you when you're truly terrified. She went under suddenly, arms flailing, then popped back up, gasping for air. Jen tried to grab her, but Brianna was being pulled again. I bolted into the water, Marcus right behind me. The water only came up to our waists, but the panic in Brianna's eyes made it feel like she was drowning. I reached her, grabbed her arm, and yanked. Something yanked back. It felt like hands, bony, sharp, and they scraped against my ankle as I kicked wildly. Marcus helped pull us both out. Back on shore, we collapsed, panting. My ankle was bleeding, a long, deep slice along the side. Brianna had a similar wound. "What the hell was that?" Jen kept asking, pacing the campsite. "It didn't feel like a fish," Brianna said, still shaking. "It felt like fingers, but not human." We bandaged up our ankles with what we had, still trying to rationalize. Maybe a snapping turtle? Some old fishing wire? No one wanted to say what we were really thinking. As night fell and the fire finally roared to life, we tried to calm down, but the sense of dread lingered like smoke in the air. Then came the splashes. At first, we laughed it off, fish jumping maybe, but the second splash was heavier, slower, like footsteps in water. I grabbed a flashlight and scanned the lake. Nothing, until we saw it. Two faint yellow eyes just above the water, reflecting the firelight. They didn't blink, didn't move. Then slowly the head rose higher, gray skin, long wet hair hanging down, and a mouth too wide to be human. We ran, packed only what we could carry, and bolted down the trail, leaving tents, coolers, everything. The next morning, Marcus and I came back with Brianna's uncle. Everything was destroyed. Our tents shredded, the firewood scattered, and deep claw marks in the trees near where we'd camped. "I told you that lake had no name for a reason," he muttered. We never went back. I live in a quiet part of Vermont, right on the edge of the Green Mountain Forest. It's peaceful, remote, and most nights it feels like the safest place on earth. My two dogs, Max and Toby, always sleep near the back door. If anyone so much as steps on a twig outside, they'll know. About a month ago, they started barking around 2 a.m. sharp. I figured it was a deer or a fox. The second night, same time. Barking, scratching at the back door, growling. I opened the door and looked out. Nothing. The third night, I leashed Max and walked him out past the tree line with a flashlight. He was calm at first, curious, sniffing around. But about 30 feet into the woods, he froze. His ears shot up, then flattened. He started growling low and steady, Then, out of nowhere, he backed up, whimpering. I shined the light ahead but saw only trees, until I heard it. Branches snapping, not like small twigs, heavy, purposeful crunches. "Who's there?" I called. No answer. Max kept backing up, tail between his legs. Then I heard breathing, raspy, deep breathing. I turned, heart pounding, and started walking quickly back toward the house. Then came a sound I'll never forget. A mechanical clicking noise, like gears grinding, mixed with this low, guttural moan. I turned back and saw two glowing eyes, far too high off the ground for a person. Max barked wildly, but I grabbed his collar and pulled him with me. We got inside, and I locked every door. When I looked back out, I saw something standing just beyond the trees. It was crouched, but tall, its limbs long and misshapen, its head cocked to the side like it was studying me. I closed the blinds. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, Max won't go near the woods. Some nights I hear clicking outside my window. I haven't slept properly in days. Whatever it is, it knows I saw it, and it hasn't left. My wife and I moved to our farmhouse in rural North Carolina about 20 years ago. It's quiet here, miles from the nearest neighbor. For most of that time, life was uneventful. But in early January last year, things changed. It started with the sound, something tapping on our bedroom window around midnight. I brushed it off, probably a branch in the wind, but the next night the tapping came again, slow, rhythmic, and deliberate. My wife, Sarah, woke me up, and we both went to the window. There was a handprint on the outside of the glass. 5 long fingers smeared across the pane like it had been dragging its hand slowly across. It was too big to be human. I went out with my shotgun the next morning. Nothing. No footprints, no sign of any animal. Just cold dirt and silence. The next night, I woke up gasping. The window was open, wide open, and something was halfway inside the room. Its shape was wrong. Its head was long and narrow, its arms thin, but long enough to reach the floor even while half inside the window. The thing retracted instantly when I screamed. I slammed the window shut and locked it, heart hammering. We moved into the guest room after that. I installed cameras outside, but they always glitched between midnight and 2 a.m. Then, on the 3rd night, the thing came back. This time, it left claw marks across the siding, deep, ragged tears like a bear had tried to rip through the walls. But there are no bears here. We never saw it again after that week. But I don't believe it's gone. Not really. Some nights, the window still creaks open. Just a crack, like it's waiting.